Hello, I'm Rob Morris from Mobile Pirate Radio, the king of the mini podcast. Y'all, check out the screen. It looks like the immigration guards at Alligator Alcatraz has already arrived and awaiting the new people coming in. How about that? Don't you just love it? Alligator Alcatraz. They got 3,000 beds already. Ron DeSantis, the governor down there, he is something else, y'all. He can make stuff happen in a heartbeat. 3,000 beds, the place has already been built in 8 days. Look at here. The alligators there, Gardner's facility said, "All right, boys, let's go flood the zone." Flood the zone. Now check this out. The Senate finally, today, passed the big beautiful bill, okay? No tax on tips or no tax on overtime. Y'all, it's a good time to be alive. And I'm gonna tell you what, if I was still working, I'd be happy. I'd be working a lot of overtime. It used to not be worth it, but now it's gonna be worth it again. It goes back down to the House for a vote, and then hopefully to the president's desk by July 4th, so we can all celebrate. And one other thing I want to talk to you about. You go woke, you know what? You go broke. I want you to watch this. Remember this? Remember this commercial? Turn it up. Remember this crazy stuff? Not a car in the commercial. Trends.
Talking about not reading the room, it didn't work. Jaguar saw its April Europe sales plummet nearly 98% to just 49 cars. I think
you hear that?
Numbers will speak for.
You hear that? Jaguar threw that commercial on the air, and in Europe, and all the nations of Europe, only sold 49 cars last year. Jaguars. Jaguars. One of the most premium European brand of cars you could buy back in the day. But you go woke, you go rogue. I guess they did not get the memo. They couldn't read the room. One of these days, these corporations are going to learn that, you know, that dog just won't hunt. It's not real. Come on. We just got to get real with stuff. Now, speaking of getting real, did you guys know that there is an app for everything? You know, to leave the country, CBPP home app, and they give you $1,000 to go back home, and you can get a chance to come back to the country. Well, there's an app for something else. There's an app for avoiding ICE, okay? It's called Ice Block. If you haven't heard about it, some fool thinks he's a genius, came up with this idea for this app to send out, and within a 5-mile radius, whoever somebody calls in anonymously saying there's an ice raid going on, so that everybody can just flood the zone there and, you know, harass the officers and the police, law enforcement, which is not cool. There's a problem with that. Now, Pam Bonnie is looking into it, and she's going to find out who developed this app. And I guess get on their asses. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But you know what? The thought occurred to me, okay, if they got this app that anybody can download on your phone, right? What if every American did download this app? Follow me with this now. You download this app, and then you start calling in anonymous tips saying, yeah, there's a bunch of ICE officers up here at the Piggly Wiggly, and I don't think they're going shopping for groceries. Same time, somebody calls from the 7-Eleven across town and says, yeah, I see a bunch of them in the parking lot. Now they're getting ready to raid someplace. If everybody did that across the country, it would crash their systems, crash their site, and they would be running around like crazy, like chickens with a head cut off, not knowing what to do. You know, who do you believe? All these reports is barging in. Flood the zone. Just an idea. Now, the latest on Big Creek Lake. I understand that Moz is now saying that they're trying to avoid invading species from entering the lake. Now, what does that mean? As I recall, in the past, invasion of species was like kudzu, which has already been here for years. You know what I'm talking about. And also the fire ant, who was introduced to the southeastern United States from a banana boat at the Port of Mobile. Sad to say. Yeah, we have to take credit for that. Can't win them all, right? So we helped introduce the fire ant into the United States. So that would be an invasive species. I'm wondering what Miles has on our mind. What kind of invasive species? Is it a plant? Is it an insect? Is it a fish? I'd like to get some answers. So we're looking forward to getting some answers one of these days soon. And just in case, stay tuned, we'll find out what's going on. But look at here, getting involved with Big Creek Lake. Getting involved with Big Creek Lake, help them out to raise money so the lawyers can fight this against Moz. Okay? Flood the zone, folks. Flood the zone. I'm going to pay a visit tomorrow and get a tour of Ryan's Refuge. It's a homeless facility in Mobile. It's just getting started up. And I got a special place in my heart for people who really want help and need it. So we're going to go check that out tomorrow. That'll be part of tomorrow night's podcast. And looking forward to the July 4th weekend. You know what? Last weekend was June Pride Month. Pride for LGBTQ, RSC, ZYW, XYZ, 09, whatever. Christ almighty. A whole month? Come on. Come on. I think that we should make July Pride Month American Pride Month. Get patriotism back into our country. Teach our kids that we live on the greatest planet on the earth, y'all. So don't ever give up on that. Don't ever think differently. Don't listen to these crazy radicals talking about how bad our country is, because we are pretty super bad. Keep that in mind. Don't forget it. We back the red and the blue here along with the red, white, and blue. That's right. That's right. So when you see one of the first responders or a serviceman this week or this weekend or anytime, you look them in the eye, shake their hand, and say, thank you so much for your service. That means a lot to them. I'll show you one more thing about that. I was at the Blue Angels, watching the Blue Angels perform on Pensacola Beach a couple of years back. And one of the pilots come walking by in his uniform from the bar. He'd already flown his flight. And he walked by me and I said, hey, son. He looked at me and I said, thank you for your service. And shook his hand. And he looked at me and said, you're worth it. I thought that was awesome. Anyway, watch tomorrow night as we continue on with the podcast on Mobile Pirate Radio. King of the Mini Podcast and Mini Time. I hope I don't take up too much of your time. I hope it's been entertaining, informative. Please like, share, etc. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.